chat is open in case you have any questions during this time. All right, and good morning. All right, so I'm going to lower my screen here, so I will be on the floor, as I said earlier. Angle, there we go. All right, and as I said before, we'll be using the PKnot for pretty much all of today. So we'll get started by lying on the floor or seated on the floor. Really depends on your preference for this particular exercise. We're going to take the PKnot and we're going to put it right behind the knee. And I want to tuck this knee in. So we're going to put some pressure on the hamstring and the calf in a seated position. If you want more pressure, you can grab by the ankle and pull it in this way. You'll feel that there's a significant difference on how much pressure you can apply when pulling from here. So we're going to do this for about 45 seconds in total before we switch to the other side. At any point, if you'd like to lower the PKnot down to the mid portion of the calf and the hamstring, anywhere where you feel like you're the most sensitive or you might have a knot in either of those areas, the hamstring or the calf. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's switch to the other leg. So again, putting it right behind the knee. And again, you can pull from the knee or the mid part of your shin or the ankle. The lower you go down the leg, the more pressure you're going to feel. Really just depends on how much pressure you can tolerate this morning. Now this time, just take deep breaths. Again, this is going to last no more than 45 seconds. Already about halfway there. So at this time, I personally would like to lower my PKnot to the midsection here, just so I get different angles of both these muscles. But if you feel like you're very stiff or you have a knot in one particular area, you can stay there for, looks like we got about 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. All right, now taking this PKnot, we're going to sit on the PKnot on our glutes. At this time, we're going to focus on one leg as we bring it in and out. By doing that, we're going to open up our glutes while we sit on the PKnot. So that's our target right now, is the glutes. This is just another way for us to hit them if we ever feel like we have knots or it just needs a little bit more waking at this time in the day. So I'm just lifting my knee up and then I rest my heel on the floor. We're going to do the same leg for a whole 45 seconds before we switch. If you'd like to lean a little bit on the side you're moving, you can do that as well, just so you can get a little bit more pressure involved. And feel free to move forward and back a little bit if you need to get different areas. Let's do one more quick one. And shake that out. If you need to lift, swing your hips a little bit before we move to the other side, you can. And readjust here. All right, 3, 2, other side, and moving back and forth. Again, I'm resting my heel on the floor as I straighten out my leg each time. I'm using my left leg right now, so I'm leaning just a little bit on my left side as I do this. Notice my breathing. Don't forget to breathe. We have about 10 seconds left with this exercise before we move on to working the rotator cuffs. So 3, 2, let's do one more. Excellent. All right, taking that PKnot. And what I'd like to do with this is we're going to focus on the rotator cuffs, being at this angle here, about a 45-degree angle, right behind the shoulder. This is where we use the wall. There's the timer. Lifting that elbow up to about shoulder height. And we're simply going to move our hands up and down, about a 90-degree turn. We've done this before on the floor. I feel like we have a little bit more control on how much pressure we'd like to have on our rotator cuff muscles here. For example, I can press my leg into the other side of my door frame so I can apply more pressure on the muscle here. And release at any time if I feel like it's too much. 5 more seconds and we'll move on to the other side. Excellent. Nope, not cool today. That's all right. All right, again, about a 45-degree angle with your PKnot, just like that, right behind that shoulder muscle, leaning against the wall, door frame, whatever you have, elbow up to shoulder height, and a 90-degree bend, just like that. I am going to turn my torso a little bit, about a 45-degree angle as well. So I'm not against the wall, facing directly away from the wall. I'm going to turn just a little bit, and I am going to get a different angle, a much more effective angle for my rotator cuff here. I can also apply that pressure on the other side of my door frame, so I can get more pressure in from my rotator cuff. We get about 5 seconds left, and then we're going to be on our knees. So we can work the inside of the legs. And last one here. Excellent. All right, like I said, let's move on to a kneeling position. We're going to take that PKnot and we're going to put it right to just over the knee, where we're going to do our inner leg squeeze here. And that's all we're going to do. Squeezing our legs together as tightly as possible. And we're going to hold in this position for about 45 seconds before we move up a little bit higher to the midsection of the legs. So if you'd like to take your hands on the outside of your legs and give it a little extra squeeze, you can do that now. We get about 15 seconds left. And the most important thing right now while we hold is deep breathing. Less than 10 seconds. And excellent. All right, like I said earlier, we're going to take this PKnot and we're going to move it up to the midsection of the leg. Same idea, we're going to do some deep squeezing here in 3, 2, 1, and squeeze that PKnot as hard as you can. Now this is one angle we can try. Another thing we can do is take the PKnot to the side like this. We can hold by the neck if we'd like, and we can squeeze the legs in this way. For some, this is way more beneficial than holding the PKnot like this. So actually, I think I'm going to do this. 1, because I think it's more effective for me. And 2, it's a little easier to see what I'm doing. Big squeeze here, as much as I can without losing control of the PKnot. Just focusing on small areas this way. Now these are just 2 of infinitely many areas you can focus on for your inner leg. So do whatever you'd like at home. I'm going to move my camera up just a little bit. We're going to move on to working our forearms. And we're going to use my door frame or the wall for this one. So for the first half, about 20 seconds, the palm will face you. And we'll have our forearm on the neck of the PKnot as we roll it straight up and down. Now I say palm facing you, but we can get many different angles this way for our forearms. So I think we'll do just about 20 seconds with this side as we lean into the wall. And now that we're halfway there, I'll turn my hand over almost 180 degrees. So the palm is away from me. Just another different angle. Waking up the forearms. Targeting any areas that may feel a little extra tight. And like I always say, if you need to hold on a knot, you can do that at any time. So let's switch to the other side now. Other arm. Palm facing you for the first half. We'll start that way. 3, 2, and 1. Moving up, straight up and down. If you feel like there's another angle I'm not hitting, you can do that on your own time. You can do that now. You can do that when this video goes on YouTube. All right, we're about halfway there. So I'm gonna hold the PKnot as I turn my arm, palm facing away from me, moving up and down. Again, deep breathing. We have another 10 seconds before we move on to our last muscle group, working the lats today. So we only have about 2 minutes left together. And done. All right, I'm gonna quickly take my laptop here, move it up just a little bit higher. Taking that PKnot right on the midsection of your side. We're gonna go into a lunge position. So one leg straight back, leaning against your wall and moving down and up. Doing small lunges as we lean to our side. Again, this is another exercise or muscle group we've worked on before with the PKnot. This is just another way for you to try different variations of working this muscle. If you felt like working your lats this way on the floor was too much, this is another great alternative. Sorry, I'm really feeling it here. This is another great alternative for anyone at home who wants to have an easier way to change up the intensity or pressure. All right, moving on to the other side. Again, we're gonna be in a lunge position here. So take one leg and bring it back. Start with the PKnot in the midsection of the lat while your legs are nice and straight. And lean against the wall as we do our small lunges down and up. Get as close to right under the shoulder as you can. Make sure you have a good angle with that PKnot. I especially need to because the door from here is only about 3 inches wide. Notice that I'm readjusting. It's not just because of the very narrow door frame I have here, but it's also so I can get different angles, different parts of this muscle group. We got 10 seconds left. Going a little bit lower here. Small lunges, that's all you need. And last one. Take that PKnot and roll that to the side. And that is it for today's session. So, as I usually say, make sure you have plenty of water both before and after these sessions. If you have any questions or comments for me on what we went over, feel free to leave them in the chat, or you can always email us at our inbox. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next workout. Take care.